The creatine mistake. Almost everyone over 50 makes. What if the real reason creatine doesn't work for so many people over 50 has nothing to do with the supplement at all? A lot of adults start taking creatine expecting fast, dramatic changes, more strength, more energy, and better workouts, only to give up a few weeks later thinking it's a waste of time. But here's the thing. In most cases, the problem isn't the creatine. It's one small mistake that quietly cancels out the benefits before they even have a chance to show up. And honestly, almost everyone makes it without realizing it. The good news is that once you understand what's really going on, the results can make a lot more sense. Creatine isn't magic, but when it's used the right way and paired with the right habits, it can be one of the most effective tools for staying strong, active, and energized after 50. Today, we're breaking down the most common creatine mistakes people make, why they happen, and how to avoid them so you can actually get the results you've been hoping for. But before we begin, drop your name and the city you're watching from in the comments below. Alright, let's get started. Number 1. Expecting creatine to work like a magic pill. Have you ever started taking a supplement expecting some dramatic overnight transformation? Like waking up a week later feeling stronger, leaner, and full of energy? If so, you're definitely not alone, and honestly, that mindset is probably one of the biggest reasons people end up disappointed with creatine. Here's the reality. Creatine is powerful, but it's not magic, and it's not designed to do all the work for you. What it does do is help your body perform better when you're already putting in the effort. Think of it more like a support system than a shortcut. Creatine works best when it's paired with the basics that actually drive results: regular movement, resistance training, decent sleep, and solid nutrition. Those are the things that create change. Creatine simply helps amplify the process by supporting energy production, recovery, and performance. The problem is, some people start taking creatine while staying mostly inactive, skipping workouts, sleeping poorly, or ignoring their diet, then wonder why nothing really changes. That's like putting premium fuel into a car that never leaves the garage. The potential is there, but it still needs action. And the good news? You don't need perfection. You don't need to train like an athlete or completely overhaul your life overnight. Even small, consistent habits combined with creatine can lead to noticeable improvements over time. So, if you want creatine to actually work, focus less on expecting magic and more on building momentum. Because when effort and consistency come together, that's when the real results start showing up. Number 2. Quitting too early. Here's something a lot of people don't realize about creatine, especially adults over 50. It's not the kind of supplement that suddenly changes everything overnight. You're probably not going to wake up after 2 days feeling like a completely different person. And honestly, expecting that is one of the biggest reasons people give up too soon. The truth is, creatine works more like a slow build than a quick burst. The benefits tend to develop gradually over several weeks. At first, the changes can be easy to miss. Maybe your workouts feel just a little smoother, maybe recovery between sessions gets a bit easier, and maybe you notice your energy staying more stable throughout the day instead of crashing as hard. But over time, those small improvements start stacking up. Strength increases little by little, recovery becomes more manageable, daily movement feels easier, and eventually, you look back and realize your body is functioning noticeably better than it was before. The problem is that many people stop taking creatine before they ever reach that point. Because the changes aren't dramatic right away, they assume it isn't working, and quit too early. But creatine isn't about instant gratification, it's about consistency. It quietly supports your body in the background, helping you improve steadily over time. And for many adults over 50, that steady progress is exactly what makes the biggest long-term difference. Number 3. Not drinking enough water. Did you know that dehydration can completely change the way creatine feels in your body? A lot of people start taking creatine, notice a few uncomfortable symptoms, and immediately assume the supplement is the problem. But in many cases, the real issue is much simpler. They're not drinking enough water. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Creatine works by pulling water into your muscle cells, which is actually one of the reasons it helps improve strength, performance, and muscle fullness. Your muscles become better hydrated internally, which supports energy production during exercise. That's a good thing, but it also means your body's hydration needs can increase slightly. If you're not keeping up with fluids, you may start feeling off. Some people experience bloating, sluggishness, muscle tightness, or even headaches, and because those symptoms show up after starting creatine, it's easy to point the finger at the supplement itself. But often, creatine isn't the problem, poor hydration is. The good news is that this is usually an easy fix. Simply drinking enough water throughout the day can make a huge difference in how your body responds. In many cases, people who thought creatine didn't agree with them actually feel much better once they improve their hydration habits. It's one of the most overlooked parts of using creatine effectively. People focus on the dosage, timing, or brand, but forget about the basics that make everything work better. So if you're taking creatine or thinking about starting it, don't underestimate the power of proper hydration. Sometimes the difference between feeling great and feeling awful. Number 4. Taking way too much. Ever hear people say, if a little works, more must be better? It sounds logical at first, but when it comes to creatine, that mindset causes a lot of unnecessary problems, and honestly, it's one of the biggest mistakes people over 50 make when they first start using it. Some people begin taking huge amounts of creatine, thinking it'll speed up muscle growth, boost energy faster, or deliver dramatic results overnight. The idea is simple. More creatine equals more benefits. But the body doesn't really work that way. Here's what most people don't realize. Your muscles can only store a certain amount of creatine at a time. Once those stores are full, taking extra doesn't magically create extra strength or faster progress. Your body simply can't use the excess efficiently, so a lot of it ends up going to waste. And in many cases, taking too much actually makes the experience worse, not better. That's when people start dealing with things like stomach discomfort, bloating, or excessive water retention. Instead of feeling stronger and more energized, they end up feeling heavy, uncomfortable, or frustrated, and then they blame creatine itself. The truth is, creatine tends to work best with a simple, moderate approach. A steady daily dose is usually more than enough to keep your muscle stores full and support long-term results. No mega dosing required. It's a good reminder that progress after 50 isn't about pushing harder in every direction. It's about working smarter and staying consistent. Small habits done consistently almost always beat extreme approaches that are hard to maintain. So, if you want creatine to actually help you feel stronger, healthier, and more energized, don't fall into the more is better trap. In this case, balance is what delivers the best results. Number 5. Ignoring protein and exercise. This one catches people off guard all the time. A lot of adults over 50 start taking creatine expecting it to magically build muscle and improve strength on its own. But here's the part many people miss. Creatine can support muscle performance and recovery, but your body still needs the raw materials to actually build and maintain muscle. That means if your protein intake is too low, or if exercise is inconsistent, creatine doesn't have much to work with. It's kind of like putting premium fuel into a car with no engine. The fuel might be high quality, but without the rest of the system working properly, you're not going anywhere. Creatine helps support the process by improving energy availability in your muscles, which can help you train harder and recover better. But the real foundation is still movement and nutrition. Your muscles need regular resistance training to stimulate growth, and they need enough protein to repair and rebuild afterward. Without those two things, even the best supplement in the world will struggle to make a noticeable difference. The good news is, you don't need a perfect diet or intense workout routine to benefit. Even moderate strength training a few times a week, combined with consistent protein intake, can create an environment where creatine actually shines. That's why the people who see the best results usually focus on the basics first. They move consistently, eat enough protein, stay hydrated, and then use creatine as an extra layer of support, not as the entire solution. So if creatine hasn't seemed effective before, it might not be the supplement that's missing. It could simply be that the foundation wasn't there yet. Number 6. Using the wrong expectations. After 50. Let's be honest for a second. A lot of people over 50 end up comparing themselves to younger fitness influencers online, and that can create some seriously unrealistic expectations. You see dramatic before and after photos, shredded abs in a few weeks, and non-stop energy being advertised everywhere, and it's easy to start thinking, why am I not seeing results like that? But here's the reality. That's not how healthy aging works. And honestly, it's not how sustainable progress works for most people either. The real benefits of creatine after 50 are usually much less flashy, but they're also a lot more meaningful in everyday life. We're talking about feeling stronger when you carry groceries, recovering more easily after activity, maintaining muscle instead of steadily losing it, and having more energy and stability throughout the day. Those changes may not go viral on social media, but they can completely change how you feel and function over time. And that's the key shift in mindset. After 50, success isn't just about looking impressive, it's about staying capable, active, and independent for as long as possible. It's about moving with confidence, feeling more stable on your feet, and having the energy to actually enjoy your life. Creatine can support that process in a very real way. Not by turning you into a 25-year-old overnight, but by helping your body stay stronger and more resilient as you age. So instead of chasing unrealistic transformations, focus on the wins that truly matter long-term. Because those steady, practical improvements, they're the kind that actually make life better every single day. Number 7. Forgetting about consistency. Want to know the real secret to getting results from creatine? It's not taking massive doses, it's not finding some advanced strategy online, and it's definitely not trying to rush the process. The real secret is surprisingly simple. Consistency beats intensity almost every time. A lot of people make the mistake of treating creatine like a quick fix. They take it for a few days, forget about it for a week, then suddenly start again when they feel motivated. But creatine doesn't work well that way. Its benefits come from gradually building up and maintaining creatine levels inside your muscles over time. Think of it like charging a battery. If you keep unplugging it before it's fully charged, you never really get the full benefit. The same idea applies here. Your muscles need a steady supply over time to stay saturated and perform at their best. That's why taking around 3 to 5 grams daily, consistently, is usually far more effective than taking huge amounts every now and then. It's the regular habit that creates the results, not the occasional overload. And honestly, this idea applies to healthy aging in general. Small actions done consistently tend to beat extreme efforts that only last a short time. A simple daily routine, combined with movement, decent nutrition, and proper hydration, can make a much bigger difference than people expect. So, if you want creatine to actually work, don't focus on doing more. Focus on showing up consistently. Because over time, those small daily habits are what truly add up to lasting strength, energy, and better overall health. Number 8. Missing the bigger picture of healthy aging. Here's the mistake nobody talks about enough. A lot of people still think of creatine as just another gym supplement meant for bodybuilders or younger athletes chasing bigger muscles. But after 50, the conversation changes completely. At this stage, creatine is often less about looking impressive and much more about supporting your quality of life. Because as we age, maintaining muscle becomes incredibly important. Muscle isn't just about appearance. It helps support balance, mobility, stability, and overall independence. It's what helps you stay active and capable in everyday life. And when muscle strength starts to decline, simple things can gradually become harder than they used to be. That's why stronger muscles matter so much. They can make everyday activities feel easier and more manageable. Things like carrying groceries, climbing stairs, getting up from a chair, or keeping up with your family and grandkids without feeling exhausted afterward. Those are the moments where strength really shows its value. And honestly, that's the bigger picture most people miss. The greatest benefit isn't trying to look younger. It's staying functional, confident, and independent for as long as possible. It's having the energy to enjoy your life instead of constantly feeling limited by your body. Creatine can help support that goal by working alongside good habits like resistance training, movement, proper nutrition, and recovery. It's not a magic solution, but it can be a useful tool for helping your body stay stronger and more resilient over time. So instead of seeing creatine as just a fitness supplement, it may be more helpful to see it for what it really can be after 50, support for staying active, capable, and healthy long into the future. So, what's the biggest creatine mistake people over 50 make? Usually it's expecting too much too fast, while ignoring the basics that actually create results. Creatine isn't a miracle shortcut, but when used consistently alongside exercise, hydration, and proper nutrition, it can become one of the most useful supplements for healthy aging. What about you? Have you ever tried creatine, or are you thinking about starting? And which mistake do you think people make the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more simple, honest health breakdowns without the hype.